Hey, Minimum Effort here, and this week's newest card is Herbie, and Herbie is an okay card. I kind of feel bad for Herbie because Herbie does seem to have some very good abilities, but it's been released at the same time as Pedro Fantastic, and Pedro Fantastic is just like Pedro Pascal, really, really good in everything. So yeah, Herbie, we've struggled to find a few homes for Herbie just because it's hard with the rotation of the activations that he has, or it has, to kind of find what that best home for Herbie is. But I've got two decks for you this week where he has been pretty useful. So yeah, so just to kind of go over the activates that he has. The first one is probably the best one, which is activate next turn you get +2 energy. That's always good in any deck, so that's really useful. The next one, activate, give 2 of your cards at each other location +1 power. That's okay. I mean, you're giving 2 cards at each location +1 power. It's not bad. You don't mind that. The next one, create a rock here and set its power to 4. Okay, sometimes that's okay, but I think you're probably holding off for the other activate abilities. And then the last one, activate double this card's power. That can be pretty good if you can buff Herbie, of course. But yeah, they're okay abilities. You don't mind them. Obviously, yeah, the main one you want to do is probably get +2 energy, because that is good in any deck. Like, look at Wiccan decks getting that +2 power for the final 2 turns. He's really good. You can do some really good things there. And if you kind of build your deck around having that option available to you, there's a few things you can do with Herbie that actually work. So yeah, I've got 2 decks for you. The first deck I've got is called H.A.N.D.I.E. Apologies for my voice, by the way. I'm suffering a little bit of a dry throat. But yeah, this is called H.A.N.D.I.E. This is a Victoria hand deck. Is Herbie the best 2-cost card in this deck? No. I think you probably are looking to play any of the other 2-cost cards in this deck ahead of him. But what Herbie does give you is, with that +2 energy that you can hopefully activate if you've played Herbie early, and you're able to hit that ability with other 2-cost cards that you then draw, is having that extra ability to play those cards as well as what else you can do in that turn. So let's say you play Herbie on turn 2, and you then draw Valentina or something like that. That's fine. You can kind of work around your hand with what you're doing with your other 2-cost cards that you're likely to have in your hand, because you've got 6 2-cost cards in this deck. So yeah, you should always have cards to play, and Herbie giving you that extra energy is very good. The other abilities that Herbie has aren't really great for this deck. The main one is the energy one. But yeah, it's a Victoria hand deck. You kind of know how it works, and it works really well. We had a good win rate with this, with the games we played, 64%. So yeah, let's run through the deck. So Quinjet, obviously, to start. Quinjet, we are looking to reduce the cost of our created cards, and there's a few cards in this deck that do that. Surge is obviously great, just for it's not so much the power, which is obviously, yes, the power helps, but for me it's the cost. It's getting the cost of your cards down, and there's still not a lot of Mobius in the meta. But if we keep seeing kind of negative decks coming up, and Sarah decks are kind of coming back with Surfer, Mobius could come back into it, which would affect Surge. But yeah, getting the cost down is probably more important than the power in this deck, I would say. There's Herbie. Hawkeye Bishop, yes, we're not going to get the Quinjet discount on our cards, but obviously because it's a Victoria hand deck, the arrows that we do have that are available for us to play will get the power boost. And obviously, yes, you could draw Acid Arrow, but the other arrow that you draw, you will be able to play on your side of the board and get use out of it. Iron Patriot is obviously great for drawing a bigger cost card, reducing its cost, and hopefully it's good that you can kind of weave it into what you're doing. Iron Patriot has been very good in this deck, especially if we can get it on turn 2. Iron Patriot's great. I actually sometimes prefer Valentina on turn 2 to Iron Patriot, especially if you played Quinjet on turn 1 and you play Valentina on turn 2. Whatever card that Valentina adds to your hand, because of Quinjet, you can play on turn 3. So you could play Quinjet into Valentina into Doctor Doom, and that's a really good kind of start to your game, because then you've got all the other things that you can do. So yeah, I don't mind Valentina at all. Sometimes it's going to draw you a duff 6-cost card, but more often than not, it's getting that 4-cost, 6-cost card, because if you are playing Victoria Hand, you're going to get that power back. So getting that cost reduced is really good. So I often prefer Valentina to Iron Patriot. Victoria Hand, because yes, we're trying to boost the power of those created cards. Yeah, Victoria Hand is great in this deck, really key for it. Red Guardian is tech for this deck. I think we're going to start to see more Red Guardian kind of come back into the meta. There's a lot of bullseye discard at the moment. Red Guardian is great for hitting Mobius and Morbius, sorry, of course it's Morbin time. Morbius and Dracula are ideal kind of targets for Red Guardian. If there's any decks that are playing Iron Man or Cerebro as well, those are the kind of the ideal targets. So I think we might see a bit more Red Guardian come back as well. Excuse me. If you want to swap Red Guardian for something else, you could actually play Mobius and Mobius. That's not a bad switch, because that affects your opponent and what they're trying to do. I probably wouldn't go with Cosmo, who's kind of the natural other 3-cost tech piece, just because you have a few on reveals that you're trying to play in your deck, so it might not always be best. You could play Cosmo if you're going to play Moonstone and Victoria Hand in that lane. That could work nicely. But yeah, I think more often than not, you're going to get more use out of either Red Guardian or Mobius and Mobius. Frigga, because there's a few cards that we can actually copy that are really useful for us. The first is Victoria Hand, because if you can get Victoria Hand on 2, Frigga on 3, and then you can play Moonstone on 4, and then you've got another Victoria Hand that you can get down, as well as then hopefully some other cards that you can generate on turn 5. That's pretty good. That's going to give your cards a lot of power. But yeah, there's other good targets as well, like Quinjet is a good target. Even Herbie could be a good target, because at least with Herbie, then if you have 2 Herbies on the board, you have the ability to kind of double up on the effects that he has. So if that's +2 energy one turn and then +2 energy the next turn as well, that might work out pretty nicely. It's kind of just giving you extra options for Herbie to be really useful. Shang-Chi, because power must be controlled. Obviously, if you can get Shang-Chi reduced with Surge to 3 cost, that's generally pretty good. But yeah, Shang-Chi is must-have in a lot of decks. Moonstone, again, you're trying to boost the ongoing effects of Victoria Hand and also Quinjet. So yeah, Moonstone's great for this. Also, if you have the Pim Arrow can go into that lane as well, and that's generally a pretty good lane for power, because Moonstone's got to boost that Pim Arrow ongoing ability as well. And then obviously the cards you've then got created, it's a problem for your opponent to then try and win the other lanes, because there's a lot you can do. And Infinity Ultron, now that the stones have gone down to 2 cost, Infinity Ultron is now much better. And with for Surge, we've got the ability to make Infinity Ultron a bit cheaper and more powerful. But obviously you still want to get those stones with the good options of hopefully doubling Infinity Ultron's power. But then also the stones themselves get that extra power from Victoria Hand. And obviously if there's a Moonstone down as well, these stones are actually now really cheap, powerful cards that you can get on the board. So yeah, Infinity Ultron does work really well in this deck, even if Infinity Ultron is not getting directly those boosts from the stones that you want. Sometimes it's the stones themselves that can win you the game. So yeah, that is the deck. Yeah, it plays pretty nicely. So like the main kind of targets for Frigga, now that we can see the whole deck, like I said, Quinjet is great, Victoria Hand is great. Even the card that Valentina creates, if you've got cheap, if you've got Quinjet on the board to make the cost of that cheaper, that's potentially good depending on what it is. Again, the same with the Iron Patriot card. If you can play Iron Patriot on 2, win that lane on 3. If you can play that card, whatever it is, on 4, you can copy it with Frigga on 5, and then maybe do something with it on turn 6. So yeah, there's a few different options you can do. Yeah, so you could free out a Red Guardian as well if you needed to. There's a few different options for it. But yeah, this deck it's a Victoria hand deck. It plays pretty well. You kind of know what to expect from it. So yeah, I recommend give this one a try first. Yeah, it's just a nice deck and it plays very nicely. Got a few avenues that you can play to win. So yeah, that's deck number 1. So yeah, this is deck number 2. This is H.E.R.B.I. I didn't really know what else to call it, but this is kind of a hand/board buff deck where you're looking to buff very specific cards and use those cards to win the game. Herbie's very good in this, and we'll kind of see why as we go through the deck. But yeah, obviously starting with clear. Yes, you want to try and buff clear, get those flames of 14, and yeah, affect what your opponent's doing, as well as kind of keeping the board space for you. With the flames of 14 is really good. H.E.R.B.I, we've got a few 4-cost cards in our deck, so yeah, getting those cost reductions very, very useful. Lasher, because if you can buff Lasher, even once, like if you buff Lasher to a 2-3, that's effectively a 2-6. That's very, very strong, and if you can obviously buff it more than that, that's really, really good. Surge, again, just getting our cards cheaper, more powerful, very, very good. Herbie, again, very good. In this deck in particular, obviously, if you're buffing Herbie, and he can then double his power, that's more power you can get on the board, which is great, as well as doing extra energy, but then also as well as giving your cards in other lanes power, because if you're giving power to Clear, Lasher, Captain Marvel, kind of these cards, that's really good because that gives you extra chances to win the game. So Herbie in this deck has probably felt the best, even though the win rate, as you can see, isn't as high as the other deck. This is where Herbie has felt the most useful. So yeah, Herbie is very good here. Ironheart again gives us the option to boost our card's power and kind of get the effects of that, even though she's a 3-0. Not ideal, but sometimes you can buff Ironheart and Ironheart becomes a 3-3 and suddenly that's much better. So yeah, Ironheart is good in this deck for kind of buffing your cards, and if you get a curve of, say, Clear on 1, Lasher on 2 and then Ironheart on 3, that's a good setup for your remaining turns, so that's a good curve. Nakia, I have not played Nakia in a while, but yeah, playing Nakia on 3, obviously if you've got cards in your hand such as Clear, Lasher, Captain Marvel, yeah, Nakia just giving those cards +1 power is very good, and again giving those cards power can only be good in this deck. So yeah, Nakia is actually quite good here. Shang-Chi, power must be controlled, you know the score. Captain Marvel is a great game winner in this deck. Yeah, give her as much power as you can, and then hopefully she can win you the game. Galacta, of course, to get power onto these cards that you're then playing afterwards. Yeah, play Galacta on turn 3, ideally, and then kind of you can play your other cards around Galacta and, yeah, boost their power as much as possible, win the game. Gwenpool, again, I think Gwenpool, some people think Gwenpool is now better than Galacta. Again, it depends on what you've got in your hand and what you've got on the board. So yeah, Gwenpool, again, though, must have in this deck. And Kahuri, because you're probably not going to have a lot of cards in your hand, but if you have specific targets on the board, Kahuri does benefit you in this deck. If you can get a 3-cost Kahuri, that's really good too. If you play Zabu on 1 and you've got Lasher and maybe Clear that you can play to kind of turns 2 and 3, and then Kahuri on 4, that's, you should still have cards in your hand. You've got a good chance of getting power to those cards. And yeah, Clear, yeah, back to Clear. But yeah, this deck's been good, and Herbie has felt better in this deck because he has specific uses for his abilities. 3 out of the 4 are pretty good. If you are just using him to get a rock on the board because you're not got that kind of early power on the board that you can buff, sometimes that's okay as well. So yeah, Herbie has felt much better here. So if you're looking specifically to play Herbie and feel good about it, this is a good place to start. So yeah, here's some gameplay highlights for you. Yeah, please give them a look, see what you think. And yeah, see what you think of the decks, and yeah, let me know in the comments if you play these decks and how you got on with them. And if you can remember to subscribe to the channel, I'm hopefully aiming to get to like 1,000 subscribers, maybe by the end of the year, if we can kind of keep these videos coming out and keep kind of momentum going. So yeah, if you can subscribe to that, it makes this video more available to people on YouTube for people to watch. So yeah, I would really, really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you very much for watching and enjoy. Cheers. Okay, so clear. It's a question of like, do we play clear now, or do we wait? I think with the raft, I think we have to kind of play clear. And let's try and fill it before they do. Hotel Inferno is useful as well, but we don't have anything we can play. Ironheart is at least going to buff clear. And it will be the only one that gets buffed. Do you know what? Ironheart into Quantum Tunnel is really good. I think we do that, absolutely. Yep, so we get Flames of 14, Clear goes to 5, and yeah, it turns into Galactic, that's fine. So Red Guardian has taken up Clear, but we do have one Flames of 14 out of it, which is good. We are not able to fill the raft this turn, but we can. Can we actually? No, we can't. Herbie will get the activation. We'll get the power, sorry, from Galacta. And we Flames of 14 as well. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what we can draw. If we draw Zabu, we can play Zabu and a 4 to fill the raft. That's Captain Carter for them and Surge. So yeah, can we play into it? We get Lasher. Absolutely happy to do that. Herbie is going to other power, so that will give power to Galacta only. That's +1 power. We could hold off and just see if it gets the chance for double power, which is what we want. We don't really want the rock. This is the thing with Herbie. It's like when it gets to this turn, it's like, what are you holding on for? If we get double power, I'm going to hold on. That's fine. Just because we have Lasher in this lane too, and we've got a free Odin as well. And they played Sarah, so they are not ahead. But if they play Surfer, they will be ahead. So, although Lasher is 4, that will give us how many free costs? Only 2. So they will go. Oh no, if it buffs Carter, it'll buff these as well. Okay. Captain Marvel to get buffed. Odin as well. Zabu is going to be Ironheart or Search. I think we do it because if it is Ironheart, that's fine. We could potentially buff Lasher. Yeah, this Herbie is the rock, so that's no good either. I'll activate it for the hell of it. Why not? Yeah, let's see. Yeah, we're expecting Surfer. It's a lot of cards for Souls. They've got Sarah there, haven't they?
Are ye worthy?
So Zabu becomes Ironheart. Ironheart buffs Captain Marvel. Okay. Wow, Lasher here. The Captain Marvel. Mockingbird mid and Sebastian Shaw, yeah, we win left and right, so yeah. So Lasher.
Victory.
So yeah, Ironheart did well getting us power, that's fine. But yeah, we took Captain Carter down to 0 power. Thanks to Lasher, that was a superb hit. And yeah, that won us the game, so yeah. Nice, so we'll take that. Yes, we will play Zabu on turn 1, thank you very much. Yeah, we have Herbie and Surge in hand. I think it's always Surge on turn 2. Yeah, that is better for us. If the choice was Herbie or Lasher, I might be tempted to go with Herbie. But yeah, it depends on what else you've got in your hand as well. Gamma Lab. I mean, we would like a Hulk. We're against discards, so they are not running Shang-Chi usually. So yeah, I think we can do that. That's fine. And we can actually feel the Wrath next turn. Oh, it's Khonshu. Khonshu discard, okay. Pretty sure they don't run Shang-Chi either. But yeah, 2 Hulks. And a Galacta. Okay, yeah, we do feel. So we go Gwenpool Herbie. The other good thing is, yeah, Herbie will have 2 turns now to activate. Double power was good. He's only going to be 3 power unless we play Kahuri. We've got Thanos, so that's fine. Pretty good. We have a 16 power Thanos. And it's Dracula mid. Okay, they have Khonshu, don't they? I think Galacta Lasher is pretty good. Can they beat 20 power in this lane? Maybe. We could still pull Shang-Chi. Hold on to Thanos for now, and we'll see what they play. They're not playing Mobius in this deck, so Thanos will stay at 0.
You won't need this anymore.
So Apocalypse discarded. Colleen Wing. Khonshu again, so Khonshu's gone to 12. Okay, we are looking good. Herbie is, of course, activate next turn, get 2 energy. This is the thing with Herbie. He's not often going to have the ideal thing for you. At least in this deck, he does have the options for things that you want, but obviously if you only get 2 turns with him, you don't have that chance to necessarily do it. Dracula could be big for them, so I think we do play Thanos into this lane. And let's just activate cards because it's fun. Yeah, I think we do that. So it's Khonshu for them on the left lane. They're going to win that. Have they got enough power to do something in the other lane? As Khonshu brings back. Killing Wing, there's 12 power. That's not enough. And Dracula is Scorn. That's not enough either. Oh yeah, that went nicely. Very nicely. Yeah, the raft helps us out getting the free Thanos. Yeah, cool. Ooh, +5 energy this turn. Interesting. Yeah, I think we absolutely... yeah, we definitely go Galacta and Zabu. That's absolutely fine. Galacta giving us buffs for a lot of turns is good. Zabu reducing cost of Shang-Chi and Captain Marvel and Gwenpool. So it's Morbius and Dracula for them, so I wonder what they are playing. So we play Clear, because that will get the buff from Galacta. We can play Ironheart next turn as well. Ooh. Ooh. So Flames of 14 is very interesting in Bar Sinister because it will fill the location. Obviously it's only 2. But... And do we get Surge out as well? I worry that they'll play something and destroy Surge in this lane anyway. So I think we're just happy to do this. Because next time we can even play Kahuri maybe and see what we can get. Or is it Ironheart? Not sure. So yeah, we are going to aim to rinse them right side. It depends also what they play into Bar Sinister as well. Kahori has been discarded for us. But nothing discarded for them. So Captain Marvel. I'm going to go Ironheart mid. I don't know if they're going to play there, but if Ironheart dies, that's okay. If he does buff clear, that's fine too. It of course does not. It's Gambit. They could have played Gambit into Barcinster maybe. It has killed the clear. And Ironheart dies too. Right, what we're going to do then is we'll just play a load of Captain Marvels into Barcinster. The reason for this, so obviously it will get buffed and then it will copy. Each Captain Marvel has a chance to move and win. Obviously in turn, so if one has a chance to win, that's the only one that can really win it, because it's not going to be like, it's not going to count all of them at the same time basically. Modocs into Barcinster, so Morbius is going to get bigger. Can they get big enough? They have two possible apocalypses. Well, no, they're filled, of course, with maybe Modoc, so that is. How big are they going? That's a lot of swarms and apocalypse. Yes, and one more. Keep going, mate.
You won't need this anymore.
I think they've won right then. Okay, that might actually help us try to win the other lanes though. I'm not sure if Captain Marvel, which happens first, Captain Marvel or Dracula, in terms of the end of game reveal. It's only Gwenpool. Thanks, Herbie. Thanks for coming. It's going to be 22 power there. They have a lot of swarms. They can play all their swarms and leave Apocalypse to be picked up by Dracula. I think this is all we can do. Captain Marvel isn't bigger in the left lane. Sorry, Captain Marvel is bigger in the left lane, so there's no point playing Gwenpool left. Yeah, or have we? Let's see it out.
Higher, further, faster.
Do they move? One. We do win. I was counting it out, so what happened?
Victory.
They still, they discarded so many swarms they couldn't play them all on the board. So Dracula got the +3 from a swarm, yeah, because they couldn't play enough down, and they still had 3 in hand. That's after the discard as well, so they still had Apocalypse. Cool, so yeah, we did win that one actually. Captain Marvel into Barcinster was fine. I nearly jumped on that as well, but that was yeah, that's a fine win. Cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a pretty good curve to start. Yeah, we can avoid Murder World for now. So H.E.R.B.I.E. Yeah, so H.E.R.B.I.E is going to reduce Shang-Chi, Captain Marvel, Galacta and Kahori. That is pretty good. They are happy to destroy their Nico. Okay. Is there a way to get more power to Lasher? Potentially. Yeah, I think we could hold off, but I think let's get Lasher on the board. We can always buff Clear. I think Clear might be more power overall. If we can buff with Gwenpool, obviously we've got more chances to buff with Gwenpool as well. And the squirrels, okay. So we are just going to play Herbie. And we play Herbie this side, just because I think Murder World opens up, we can start playing into that next turn with Gwenpool. It's Victoria hand, some demons. Yeah, we don't need to use this Herbie activation just yet. We don't need to activate Lasher either. We can hold off. So yeah, Moonstone for them, right. So I think we're probably looking to try and win middle lanes. Obviously we've got a demon we can kill, that's fine. It's going to flood the other locations, so... yeah, we Shang-Chi now. They do have priority. Herbie... double power, don't mind that, that's fine. And I think it's this. We're going to get space here to play, and we could potentially have Galacta. Maybe Kahori. Kahori could give a buff to Lasher as well, so it's Iron Lad for them, which is Infinity Ultron. That is a card.
Power must be controlled.
Victoria Hand is obviously, and Moonstone's going to boost the stones, whatever stones they have. They will play mid and it will get more power. The question is, how much is it going to have? I think it's just Galacta, and we see if it holds. Yeah, we're not going to win, right? But that's okay. So it's Infinity Stone. Infinity Stone. What else have they got? And Mirage. Yeah, we are safe with that. So yeah, cool. That will do. So yeah, Clea was good there. Gwenpool got our buffs, got our power there. They didn't. Yeah, they couldn't put enough on the board, even with Moonstone and Victoria Hand. So yeah, cool. Okay, so yeah, Infinity Ultron, Valentina, and Red Guardian, and Surge. Valhalla is very good for Valentina and Surge, so I think we're going to play Valentina this turn. Depending on what they play, Silk. Okay, yeah, we don't necessarily have to play Red Guardian yet. It's a null, okay. Yeah, Quinjet left. Surge mid. We do have Quinjet Ultron's out, so we've got low, could be low cost cards hopefully anyway. Spider-Man moved Valentina out, that sucks. But at least we have Surge. We can hit. If I'm looking off to the side, sorry, I'm currently watching the England Lionesses. We're winning 5-0 against Wales. Very nice. We get Iron Patriot as well. Okay. We could play Red Guardian. The problem is there's no guarantee we're going to hit the Silk. And they probably do want the Silk to move. If they have Hydra Stomper, they might play it. So I am going to play Red Guardian. And let's see what we hit. They haven't moved anything, so we are hitting the Silk. That's okay. Ghost Rider from Iron Patriot. Thanks, mate. Okay, it's a Surge, it's a hits, and we get Arrow. We can move them at their own game. We have priority. We could. It's going to kill the thing though, isn't it? I was thinking we could play Arrow into this lane and drag something in, but Negasonic will kill it. So I think instead Infinity Ultron, because then if Arrow gets discounted, we can play Arrow with Victoria Hand, maybe with the stones as well. It is Arrow, so we have now filled that lane, but we might still be able to do stuff.
All systems go.
So yeah, okay. Right. So that will double Ultron. Is there anything we could do with Negasonic to make Null bigger? I don't think there is. I think what we have to do... They do have priority. We feel... We could potentially... I'm going to do that now, why not? Yeah, what we're going to do here is we're playing the Soul Stone, because this will give one of these cards here +2 power if it is Infinity Ultron, and then we're doubling that power with the Infinity Power Stone. That might be okay as well. Stegron doesn't do anything. Arrow is fine. Victoria Hand, I think we won anyway, but it's fine. Can we hit Infinity Ultron as well? Nah, it's Surge, that's fine. And Power Stone, yeah. Cool, yeah, we'll take that. Yeah, yeah, very good. Yeah, obviously Victoria Hand got very good hits with Iron Patriot, except for Null. Obviously Arrow being 1 cost is really good. With Quinjet reducing that, and the stones being reduced as well. Yeah, this is pretty good. Okay, Frigga, Infinity Ultron on Moonstone. And Raft, of course. If we can get Victoria Hand, that's a bit of a curve, but we don't have anything other than Infinity Ultron stones that we could play. Can't play it. Okay, so yeah, Iron Patriot. I mean, because it's Hood, they could potentially be playing Misery. So we could have a chance to fill the Raft. I think we do it anyway, because it's the Hood's -3. So we do have more power in this lane anyway. Claw is interesting. Oh, okay, Bishop. Yeah, okay. Mindscape sucks. Ah, Mindscape sucks. We're not realistically going to play the Claw, but then they're going to get a Claw. Let's do it. They filled it, of course they have. There's Demon and Pim Arrow, okay. Yeah, if they play in Victoria Hand as well, they will obviously get very big in that lane. The other problem with playing in Iron Patriot now is we are just giving them a card that they could potentially use on turn 6. So yeah, Mindscape is not good for us. So in which case, oh mate, what do we do? In fact, we can Moonstone this turn, and then Quinjet onto the Moonstone, because none of their cards would have started in our hand, so they should all be cheaper. Pull Quinjet out, make it free for us, yeah. Nice job. We can actually play Claw turn 5, which we don't mind at all. It's a Surge, yeah, I think we're happy for this. And we'll play some Herbie. How many cards in hand? They've got 6 cards in hand. We could get, yeah, we're going to get 4 cards. No, we're not, because of Mindscape. Oh man, we were set up for that. We can now play Infinity Ultron next turn, unless they turn Limbo off with Merlin, but he's only going to get one spell that he could potentially turn it off with, but we need to kind of account for it. Herbie being double is good. I think we just kind of try and allow for it anyway. If they do turn Limbo off, that's not bad. They've still got to try and do something to get extra power in the raft. Okay. Iron Patriot gives us Sandman. Enchantress onto Moonstone and Quinjet. Yeah, this is slightly worse for Response in Future. Gets rid of the Nebula and they get more energy. Okay. So Victoria Hand. I'm just worried about overkill because it's basically, yeah, we can do this, and we can do this, and we can do this. I think we'll obviously win this lane. It's in Victoria Hand is going to make Claw better. If they do have Victoria Hand, is that enough for us to win? It might just be. Because yeah, Victoria Hand gives them +2, so they will only go to 14, but obviously we're playing Victoria Hand, who will boost our Claw as well. Yeah, I think we're happy with this. Famous last words. Let's see. Holy Morph turns magic into Shuri. It should be fine, right? It's Gormid for them, that's fine. You're kidding me. Yeah, no, I was worried for a minute that Shuri was going to copy the Taskmaster, but obviously Gore was played first. Yes, even with a 23 power Taskmaster, a lot of power here thanks to the stones, thanks to Victoria Hand. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, they didn't get any way to boost these power of these cards. Yeah, we will take that. That's very nice. Central Park is not ideal, especially with Hawkeye Cake Bishop, because if the arrows we draw are not the acid arrow, that makes things a bit harder for us. Again, the raft is potentially good, but it's then having the space to play the cards elsewhere. Yeah, we can Hawkeye, that's fine. And again, yeah, it's it's those ones. No acid arrow here. Okay. This is the best we can do. Collector's going to go big though, so we can maybe double Herbie's power. We can maybe get Victoria Hand. They didn't feel it's Destroyer. Yeah, okay. Right, this is what we're going to do. Activate the Herbie to give us... I need to broken. Oh, it's just that, isn't it? Force the energy one, that's fine. We are going to play Destroyer into this lane. And then we're going to play Moonstone. And then next turn we can play Victoria Hand, Valentina and Basic Arrow. And let's see what we get. But yeah, this is a bit risky. I mean, destroy a card by all means, that's fine. Destroyer's going to do that job anyway. Oh no, they got our Quinjet. Oh yeah, destroy stuff. What a shame. So, it's good news because it's discard. They're not running Shang-Chi. So, what we are going to do is obviously Victoria Hand here. We Valentina. I think it's Valentina left and it's basic arrow right. I think that's okay. What do we get from Valentina? Red Hulk. Not bad. Not bad at all. Morbius. So yeah, I'm guessing they're going to play MODOK. But is that going to be enough with what we can put down? Because we can go. Are we big enough this lane already? They've retreated. Okay, cool. Maybe they didn't have MODOK. But yeah. We could have played Red Hulk left and our next big one is Iron Patriot right. That would have given us over 30 power. Even if they had MODOK, is that enough to win that lane? Maybe not. But yeah, no. That went really well. Yeah, Destroyer actually came out clutch. What a surprise. And it took care of the squirrel problem for us as well. So yeah, that went pretty well, surprisingly. Cool, so yeah, Surge, Herbie, Shang-Chi, Vibranium Mines. Don't really have to plan to that yet, so yeah, we're going to do Surge on 2. What Herbie is good for in Washington DC, if it does get the Rock will go to a 1-4. But then it will go to a 1-7. So I think this is one of the rare times we play Herbie there, because that is just good value. We play Herbie on 2. That's very good value. We've got a good chance with all the turns we've got to get that rock on the board. Oh mate, Tinker's Works was great. We can play Surge and Victoria Hand this turn too. Herbie wants to double his power, of course. Surge here, we're going to Victoria Hand right. And then we can Moonstone right as well. And then yeah, Infinity Ultron on 5, and then the stones and whatever else we've got on 6. Pretty standard for what we're trying to do with this deck. Here we go. Have a rock, have a Moonstone and a Quinjet. This will make the the stones will be only 1 cost anyway, but that's really good. But yeah, if we can get good stones, and that's very good too. We do have Shang-Chi if they do start trying stuff with Shaw. So yeah, we are going to play Infinity Ultron into this lane because we're going to get the stones. That's okay. If we do draw a rock, a Vibranium, it's not the end of the world. We can still play that. And with our stones being reduced by Quinjet as well, that's pretty good. So it's Reality Stone and Time Stone. Play Misty. Okay, I think they just played this to get a 3 cost card on the board. We do have priority, so we don't need to do the Shang-Chi. So what we can do it's tricky because we could Valentina and use the Time Stone to maybe put that card here, but I don't think that is going to be enough to win. Actually, no, if we do that, then we can't do the drone because we feel what's going to be better. The Infinity Stone is more power. I think we have to do that there. No, let's do this. And do that, and then it will draw a card in. It's a 50-50 whether it's Shang-Chi or the card from Valentina. Just don't be Destroyer, please. That would be nice. Thank you. No, I won't be able to put it down anyway because we filled it. I don't show you. It's Odin. Vibranium.
Are ye worthy?
Surfer. Yeah, we're still too big. Mid, that's fine. Yeah, cool, that'll do. Playing a lot of Surfer at the moment. I've been playing it as well. But yeah, Surfer is just looking very good. With Human Torch First Steps coming out next week as well, that card looks really good in Surfer too. So yeah, to be ready to see a lot of Surfer over the next couple of weeks.